I work for a company called LiveWork that I started in London in 2001 with Chris Downs and Ben Reason. When we started, as far as we know, we were the first service design company in the world. So my presentation today will be exclusively from the service perspective and things we have learned. But I think what I'd like to talk about, not so much about the value stuff, but more about some of the mechanisms that we see from a service perspective in relationship to co-design. So, of course, it's this transformation from the industrial economy into something else. The strange thing is that so many of the clients in the service sector think they do this. They have a value chain where they might speak to some users, then they might design something, and they might engineer it, and they might produce it, and they might distribute it, and then the product comes to sorry Anna, some people. And at that point, you might have a valuable dialogue with them again, and that might take 24 months, 36 months, and so on. But the service factory looks completely different. By definition, the value in the service factory is created in the meeting point between the provider and the consumer. So consumption and production becomes the same thing. And this transforms the way we need to look at people. In this model, you have to look at people as mass consumers, but now you can start treating them as individuals, and you can start redesigning your service at every interaction with the people you interact with. Also, we're not designing anymore for a point of purchase. We're designing to create a good relationship, and a relationship that's sustainable over time. And I think this is one of the drivers behind co-design. It's not because we have suddenly come up with this as the new solution. There is something that's happening in technology that makes this the right time to focus on it. I'm not going to go into this deeply, but last year we had a look at our clients' attitude to service. And on one end, you find companies that just look at people as consumers. A lot of our clients in the financial sector are here. They try to industrialize processes and design that experience, so kind of putting service onto people as if they're inside the factory. But we see where the really interesting things are happening are out here, and we think the big success in the future will be those that think what we call service equity. It means equality between provider and consumer, and it means value sharing together. And these are the organizations that look at the people that use their services as co-producers. We see it clearly with things like Wikipedia, eBay, and all those places online, and we see it moving into the real world. The interesting thing is that all those financial sector companies that are here, they came from over there. Maybe we can bring them back at some point. But I'm sure you get all of this. What I wanted to say in relationship to today is that there is a material that we need to be able to engage properly with people in co-design. And that is personal data. This is a picture of some of my partner Chris's personal data. Under the European Data Protection Act, he sent letters to Sainsbury's, Orange, all these companies said, I want my data, because according to the law, I have a right to get a copy of all the data you hold on me. The results were shocking, about that much. He could also see what kind of marketing categories he was put into, and he really felt like getting back in touch with the company to tell them they're slightly wrong, but also right about some things. When they saw what they had bought Christmas evening 2 years ago at Sainsbury's, they had a very romantic moment. Oh, it was just the two of us and we made that wonderful turkey, our first Christmas alone. So this is personal and emotional. The problem is, big organizations keep this away from us. We have produced it. When we use stuff, when we consume, we actively produce these very valuable goods, and we are prohibited access to it. But it's our data. And personally, I want them back. And I want them back in a way where I can have a more constructive dialogue with the organizations that I deal with on a daily basis. So to conclude, I just thought I'd bring that into the picture about our conversation today about co-design. First thing, so in the service factory, when design and use merges into one event, how do we deal with that? For instance, I think our model as a design consultancy is going to disappear because designers shouldn't do projects anymore. We need to be constantly engaged with users to do constant improvement. The second thing, sorry Anna, the second thing is this idea of data democracy. In able to have good conversations, we need to go beyond transparency in data, both in government and in the private sector, and give equal access to provide a valuable conversations between us and other ones. So, thanks.